Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Seduce Me. In the last episode, a cat fight went down, yo! Yeah, it was awesome. I beat the heck out of that witch Lisette. And then our teacher was really cool about it. And then I was supposed to get picked up by my dad, but I ended up being kidnapped by Malex's people. Oh no. And I had a choice at the end. I'm kind of frustrated because a part of me wanted to fight him myself, but he did say to call his name in case I was in danger, so I called for help, and hopefully now he's gonna show up and save the day. Boy, oh boy. Alright, all of a sudden, a bright purple light engulfed the room, causing the devils around me to cover themselves.
What the?
Gusts of wind rushed past me, almost forcing me back. I covered my face with my arms, bracing myself and standing my ground. I tried to peek through my arms to see what was going on, but the light continued to shine brightly. As the gust slowly started to die, the light began to fade, revealing James pointing a strange golden gun behind Malex's head. Ooh, he's so cool! Yeah, you get him, baby! Golden gun, like frickin' 007, you know? James.
It's alright now. I'm here.
Nice. Malex stared wide-eyed behind him, unsure of what to do. He had no time to react in case James pulled the trigger. He was stuck, feeling the presence of James's golden gun that was ready to lodge a bullet into his skull.
Well, it seems like I finally have your cooperation, Alex. It took long enough.
He's so cool.
You piece of demon shit! I could shoot you right now.
And what's stopping me from shooting you first? If you so much as flinch, I will pull this trigger and end you once and for all.
Please do. The remaining devils stared, trying to figure out what to do. Help Malex or watch in silence? Eris, oh, I guess that's her name. Eris, however, walked up beside me and crossed her arms as she watched with an amused smirk on her face. Malex growled, obviously annoyed at the predicament he was in.
What is stopping you, pretty boy?
Just me wanting to do this.
Whoa. With no hesitation, James quickly moved his gun and shot both of Malex's hands. The gun dropped from Malex's shot hand onto the ground as he knelt over in pain, holding his hands to his chest. Pretty smart.
You son of a bitch!
Before Malex could finish the sentence, James aimed the gun once again at Malex's head, causing the devil to stop talking once again.
I didn't say you could speak. You want me to shoot you in the throat?
I stared at James in shock. Was he playing with Malex? He seemed to act like a cat poking a sharp claw at a wounded rat. It was warranted, but not what I expected of James at all. Girl, I think it's hot as heck. You can play with him all he wants as long as he wins in the end.
Now, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to get on your knees to beg for forgiveness. Or, the next bullet goes to your pathetic hellborn skull.
Malex hesitated, but eventually ended up on his knees. However, as he settled onto the ground, Malex wrapped his arms around James's leg and dug his teeth into it. Ooh. No! Ooh. I gasped, but remained still as I watched James aim and fire a shot into Malex's back. Malex released James's leg in shock, trembling at the newfound pain. However, for some reason, Malex didn't fall over and die. He remained still, staring ahead of himself in pure shock and pain. I could only watch in silence as James lifted his leg out of Malex's embrace and kicked Malex to his side.
Disobedience until the very end, huh?
Oh boy. The air instantly went from frantic to still in energy. What could have been described in tone as the color red quickly turned into a deadly mix of purple and gold, as everything began to blend together all at once. I stared, as James seemed to grow more menacing towards Malex. However, he quickly looked at me with a face of concern. What I'm kind of confused about, I mean, sure, it's awesome, but didn't James and the other brothers get their butts kicked by these guys last time?
Please, forgive me for this.
Uh-oh. I grew confused, but wasn't allowed to think on it as James looked back down at Malix once again. James's eyes began to glow a bright gold as James lifted Malix by his collar and pulled him up and off the ground.
It's high time you discovered the true power of demons.
James's voice had changed, sending a large shiver down my spine. His appearance also started to change, but before I could see clearly what James was becoming, my eyes were covered.
It's me. Don't look.
Why? Oh man. I listened carefully and let the last two words linger in my mind. Don't look. Why? What was being hidden from me? I wanted to know, but something told me to obey Damien's command. I could hear Malix struggling to get out of James's grasp, and the rich, bright sound of magic being cast. I struggled with myself to obey Damien's words, knocking my arms to my sides to deny myself the chance to pull Damien's hands off from my face.
Let me go!
As you wish.
Interesting. The sounds of demonic screams and cries bellowed all of a sudden, causing me to tense up in Damien's hands. Malix began to scream in agony, straining as if he was being pulled somewhere against his will. Malix's voice began to trail out into an echoey whisper as the magic sounds in the air consumed his cries. What about his minions? Soon enough, the cries and wisps of magic stopped, leaving the air as silent as it could be. However, Damien didn't remove his hands.
Jeez, James. Haven't seen you use that trick since the intruder in Demon Castle. But you're losing your touch. You even lost your glamour spell.
It couldn't have been helped.
Glamour spell? What did he mean? Why did James sound so different? Why was this being hidden from me?
It's a spell that makes us look human.
Figured that. I froze. Look human? They didn't look like humans after all? What did they look like?
Like demons.
Well, obviously. As if Matthew knew what Damien was talking about, Matthew spoke up, followed by the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle.
Well, not for much longer. Here.
Thank you, Matthew.
I want to see. I could hear the small clinking of glass being passed before hearing James guzzle down a liquid of some sort. The stiff feel of the air around me gently began to warm back up, insinuating that everything had been returned to normal. And I'm gonna assume the other brothers took care of the minions? I don't know. Finally, Damien moved his hands from my eyes, allowing me to see around me once again. The devils, including Eris, had fled. Malix was nowhere to be found. The boys, however, had gathered around me. All of them, including James, looked like nothing had happened. What just? Man, I want to see. I tried to speak, but everything zipped around in my head at the whole event, and I felt like speaking wasn't possible.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
I could only nod. What had happened boggled my mind to the point of disbelief. I was second-guessing everything, lost in a sea of what and how and when. As we walked out of the warehouse, I looked to James for some form of sign that I wasn't dreaming. James kept his eyes forward, unable to look at me. No. That sucks. I'm actually pretty disappointed. It was over. Malix was gone, and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body at the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a ping of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
Yeah.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
I'm just tired. Can I hit the hay early?
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
I looked to Damien, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts in the situation. Yeah, bed sounds good. I wanted to just end tonight. Too much had happened, and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Damien spoke up, stopping all of us from moving.
Should we be gone in the morning?
What? The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. They had remembered their deal, and were now awaiting me to decide their fate. Sorry. I gulped, face to face with the reality of the situations. The boys were leaving it up to me. They looked like they were willing to accept whatever I had demanded. It was only fair, though, after all that had happened. I looked to James, feeling my heart flutter in my chest. I didn't want him to leave, but would he ask to stay? I hoped that he would say no and ask me to stay longer. As if he knew what I wanted, James moved and smiled at me, taking my hand and bringing it to his lips for a kiss. He moved it away, smiled to me, and spoke.
Miss, if I may be so forward. Despite the short time we've stayed here, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here. That being said, would you allow us to stay here?
Oh, yes! My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. The boys stared at James wide-eyed, but didn't dare to speak out. James stepped back to give me space, returning to where he was. I moved my gaze across each boy, trying to make a decision. If they left in the morning, I would never see them again, and my life could return to normal. If I did decide to let them go, that would have been for the best. No goodbyes, no delays. What are you saying? But did I want to? They had done so much for me in such a small amount of time. Oh my gosh, this is huge. I am not gonna let them go. No. Hell no, they're gonna stay. I wanted them to stay. I wanted him to stay. So I am gonna get the happy ending, right? Right? I merely smiled, staring at the man I had come to have feelings for, before speaking at last. I would love it if you all could stay. The boys cheered tiredly, but nonetheless enthusiastically. I giggled at the sight. It was cute to see everyone so excited. Despite the tiredness that ran equally through our bodies, today was a rough day. My home is your home, as long as you can still help with chores. The boys nodded in unison, agreeing to the terms I had set for them. Despite the good situation, I felt myself slowly slipping into unconsciousness. Gosh, why always passing out? However, James quickly clapped his hands together, getting everyone's attention and waking me up, making sure I didn't pass out on the floor.
All right, everyone. We're all very tired, so let's head to bed, shall we?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sleep is actually a thing. Right.
We've had a very long day, but it will be good to just relax tonight and tomorrow.
Sleep sounds really good right now.
Yeah, man.
I watched a very happy smile grow onto James's lips. He shared my excitement, knowing that we would be together longer. Who knew how long we would stay together? All I cared about was that I would be with him. The others quickly left to finally rest, leaving me and James alone at last. Ooh. Does this mean I get my second chance? My heart fluttered a bit as James walked closer to me, gently wrapping his arms around my form. I placed my hands onto his shoulders, leaning close.
You are an absolutely wonderful woman. I'm so happy that you let us stay here.
I'm happy too, James. I stared up into his eyes, getting lost in them. I didn't know if it was the tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I felt myself lean into James's body. It invited me to stay a while, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
Huh. Well, that's weird. I didn't hear him speak. No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. I had accepted everything while in James's warmth. He was real, and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. James nodded before kissing my forehead sweetly.
Come, let's get you to bed.
Okay, I was worried about the volume. I don't know why I couldn't hear him earlier. I nodded before James gently lifted me up into his arms like a bride, again, and carried me to my room. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against James's chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with my bed covers. I was still in my school clothes, but I was too tired to strip or care. I looked to James, fighting a yawn from escaping me as he gently ran a hand over my hair.
Have sweet dreams. I'll prepare breakfast again for you in the morning.
Aw, thank you. You're so sweet. He's so sweet. Aw. I nodded, with a tired smile, before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. Ah, well. A wave of happiness washed over me as I laid in bed. I made a good choice. Sure, it would be hard, but I could tell that I would be able to manage it. Help around the house, and being with a man whom I was slowly starting to fall for would be worth it. I slowly felt exhaustion take over. I let sleep consume me as I drifted into the darkness in my mind. Everything was peaceful. I was happy. Excuse me? Excuse me? That's it? That's the end?
You are an interesting creature.
Oh no, did I screw up? No! I did not get the ending I wanted. No! I don't know exactly what's going on, but I did hear that if I see this woman, that means that I did something wrong. Well, crud. Alright, what is it? I opened my eyes to see a woman staring down at me with a very sly smirk on her face. I opened my mouth to scream in fright, but a hand quickly covered my mouth.
No screaming now. Too early, silly girl.
I could only stare up at the woman above me. I still felt weak, not having the strength to move and fight her off. What was going on, and why was she here?
Why do the boys like you? You're unique, yes, but that can't be all that you have going for you.
Rage began to consume my core again. This woman, whoever she was making me mad. She must have known, as she let another smirk grow onto her face.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Before I could bite her hand in anger, she removed her hand from my lips, standing up and staring down at me from her place next to my bed. I quickly sat up and glared daggers at the intruder. She was very beautiful, but I felt more anger than amazement. Who the hell are you, and why are you in my room? Sexy music. The woman began to laugh, making the rage inside me increase. I wanted to punch her, but I waited for her answer.
How silly of me. I forgot that we demons are not well known of in your world. You can call me Diana, little human.
Diana. Well, nice to meet you, I guess. Diana? Demon? You're a demon?
I am. But I'm much more than just an average demon.
What do you mean?
Silly girl. I'm a succubus.
Oh, the female version of what the boys are. I stared at Diana in shock. A succubus? First incubi, now a succubus? Great. I had now met both genders of sex demons. Diana crossed her arms under her bosom and looked at my body.
Well, you are pretty.
Thank you.
But you seem very reckless. Too reckless.
What is that supposed to mean? I moved out and stood from the bed, still glaring at Diana. Why are you here?
Oh, I just wanted to see who my competition was.
Excuse me? Competition?
For the boys, of course. They don't belong here, and yet here they remain. I want to know why, and remedy this little issue.
This girl was seriously pissing me off. I'm gonna have to fight somebody else again. Cat fight times 2. Issue? What issue? They want to stay here, so they can.
Silly, uneducated human. You don't understand the important roles these boys play in the abyssal planes. You keeping them here is practically imprisonment.
What? You have about 10 seconds to leave.
Is that a threat? How cute. What are you going to do? Kill me?
And if I do?
You barely have the strength to stand, little human. I can rip the rest of your energy out and knock you into a coma. You'll never be able to wake up
Oh,
again.
so that's what happens when they drain your energy. That's not good. Touch me and I'll...
Enjoy every minute of it.
Oh boy. I felt my body freeze and heat up to almost a painful haze. I can see why you chose her, Pixel Coco. She is something else. My mind began to feel fuzzy as Diana stepped to me and caressed my cheek.
Now, you're going to listen to everything I say without any questions. Got it?
Oh boy. I nodded.
Good. I plan to bring the boys back to the abyssal planes. Why? So that I can take my place as queen of their realm. They have no reason to be here in this silly little world, so I'm going to make sure they return home. Okay, Pumpkin?
No, not okay. I nodded but growled. My rage couldn't be concealed, despite the hold I was under. You evil biatch.
Call me evil all you want, dearie. I'm not evil. You're just in my way.
I felt Diana lean into my ear and whisper, making me unconsciously shiver in both pleasure and annoyance.
Now, be a good little human and go to bed. I'll make sure they're gone before you get home tomorrow from school, so make sure to say goodbye in the morning.
No. I felt my body move on its own to lay in bed and cover itself with my bed sheets. I glared at Diana the entire way down. Diana laughed at my futility. I'll get you.
Oh, please do.
Oh boy. All of a sudden, her voice deepened and became cold and demonic, sending a violent, scared shiver down my spine. Her red eyes practically illuminated in the darkness of my room as she glared at me. Oh, I don't want to fight her.
Give me a reason to make your life a living hell.
I gritted my teeth, trying to fight back against the hold on me. She couldn't have been that tough. She needed energy to survive, right? I was sure she couldn't have had enough to hold me down forever. Diana then laughed and returned to normal.
Oh, and make sure you don't tell the boys I was here. I want my visit to be a
Oh
surprise.
no. I felt the hold on me disappear, allowing me to sit up and practically growl at Diana in rage. What's stopping me?
Then you must not care about your friends and family as much as you care for the boys.
I stopped and stared. What did she mean by that? Was that a threat to my family? Diana smirked at me, knowing the confusion behind my eyes.
Let's just say that if you tell the boys about me, I'll make sure that no one will care for you, and you'll be all alone in this little house until the day you die.
Oh, you are a biatch. I could feel fear creeping into me. Alone? How could she do that? The word demon reverberated in my head, reminding me that I was facing off against something supernatural. A human with a shield versus a devil was one thing. A human on her own versus a demon was another.
Have a good night.
And with that, Diana sank into the floor through a magic purple pentagram, which disappeared as her head vanished into the floor. I couldn't believe it. Oh, achievement, someone get the caramel. Sweet. I couldn't believe it. I had one problem and now I had another. Instead of a crazy psycho devil who wanted to kill me and the boys, I had a succubus wanting to ruin my life and take the boys away. Could my life get any worse? Do not say something like that. You're asking for it, man. That's like, you really, really should not say that. Alright, so that will be it for this episode. I have a feeling we have more to the story now. I thought we were going to get the bad end right here, but looks like there's more to go. So yeah, maybe I didn't screw up after all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye!